So, what do you do when your aging dad can barely walk across the room, but he still says, I'm fine? Do you push harder? Do you back off? Or do you wait until something bad happens and then feel guilty because you saw it coming? That is so common. So, today's story is about that word fine and why it can be one of the most dangerous words in senior care. Seniors always say, I'm fine, and what their meaning is, leave me alone, let it be. Hi, I'm Suzanne Fasella, a retired physician assistant and a healthcare advocate who teaches family caregivers how to go from emotional chaos to strong leadership in senior care. With more confidence, you'll have less exhaustion and you'll have the right resources. And today I want to show you how one daughter learned to stop fighting her dad's pride and start protecting his independence with better guardrails. She put them up. Carla's father, Ray, was 88, retired military. He was not going to accept anybody's help. He was strong-willed on top of that. And he was a very proud man and had every right to be. He wasn't going to change that just because he aged. And emotionally, he was about as soft as a cast iron skillet. Carla loved him dearly, but every time she brought up safety, Ray acted like she had personally insulted his entire life history. She noticed he was walking differently. She wanted to address that, of course. He leaned forward almost at a 45-degree angle, and he refused to use a cane, and one leg was weaker than another. He shuffled more. He held onto furniture where he thought nobody was watching. He avoided longer walks, which he used to love to take. And the cane, which he was supposed to use, the cane was apparently the enemy of the state. Ray kept it nearby, but he hated using it. It was a pride thing, you know. He never had it before. He didn't want to have it now. He didn't want to admit he needed it. And he'd say things like, that thing makes me look old. Well, of course. Carla wanted to say, Dad, you are 88. You are old. The cane is not exactly giving away classified information. Maybe she should have said that, but she held back. She wouldn't say that. I could say it, but she couldn't, because she knew that the moment she pushed too hard, he would dig in. It's amazing how some people will listen to someone else, but not you. And this is where so many caregivers get stuck. The caregiver sees danger. The senior sees control. The caregiver says, I'm trying to help. And the senior hears, you're not capable anymore. So what you say and what they hear are two different things. So the whole conversation becomes this tug of war. Carla thought the problem was that her father was being stubborn. How many times have I heard that? Dad is stubborn. And her dad, Ray, he thought the problem was that Carla worried too much about him. So what if he falls? He'll get back up. But underneath all of that was fear. Both Carla had the fear and both Ray had the fear. Ray was not just refusing a cane. He was refusing what the cane meant to him. It meant that he was getting old. It meant weakness. It meant he was losing his independence. It meant that he had to listen to Carla. Loss of control. All of these things. Maybe even becoming a burden now. The fear of another loss. Possibly being forced out of his home because he couldn't even walk straight up again. His knees were even bent. This is why caregivers have to be careful. If we treat every refusal as stubbornness, we miss the fear that's going on underneath it. And fear does not respond well to lectures. Ray did not need a lecture from Carla. You don't need to be giving lectures to your seniors. What he needed was guardrails. If I take away the cane and don't even mention it, but I silently put up guardrails, it's a whole different story. Control says, Dad, you can't do that anymore. But guardrails say, Dad, what do you want to keep doing and what support would help you keep doing it safely? That is a totally different conversation. The goal is not to take away Ray's independence. The goal is to protect it. And yes, senior care dictates and demands a whole new language, not the way we talked years ago, not the way we talk to our kids. Independence is not protected by pretending that nothing has changed. Independence is protected by matching support to reality. Ray had numbness in his feet. That mattered. That was real. That's reality. Numb feet can affect balance, walking, stairs, driving, bathing, and fall risk. It can be related to several possible causes, including nerve issues, circulation, diabetes, alcoholism, back problems, or medication effects. The list goes on and on. Now, I am not diagnosing Ray at the kitchen table. I have no clue why his feet are numb. I have no clue why he's bent over in a 45-degree angle. But I am saying this. He's just getting older is not enough. That phrase has hidden many fixable problems. Carla needed to stop arguing about the cane and start gathering better information. When did the walking change? What had his doctor said when he evaluated it? Oh, he hasn't evaluated it? Well, there's a beginning. Is he taking medications that could affect his balance? Did he need physical therapy? What is going on in his legs? Is it neuropathy? How did it get there? What can we do about it? Would better shoes help? Would a walker actually give him more freedom instead of less? All of these things are choices that we can look at down the road. That is leadership, not panic, not control. It's about finding out what the real problem is and not taking away his independence. We're not there yet. We don't know what's causing this. The second solution was to help connect with what Ray cared about. Ray did not care about fall prevention brochures. He did not care about using the cane. He cared about staying in his house. He cared about being left alone and not being told what to do. He was a very proud man. What he liked to do was go to breakfast with his friends. He liked sitting out on his porch. He liked being treated like a grown man. He liked the respect that he's been given all his life. So Carla needed to speak to that. She needed to realize this proud man was not going to be bent over with a cane. Dad using a cane may help you keep going to breakfast. He didn't click on that. That was not relatable. It lands you very differently, though, than you're going to fall. Dad, everyone would feel more comfortable if you used a cane. The third solution was the two roads conversation. The one road says we can ignore the numbness, avoid the doctor, refuse the support, and hope nothing happens. But road two says we can get clear information, use the right support early, and protect the independence you still have. This kind of conversation gives the senior dignity. It also gives the caregiver a calmer place to stand. Dad may never want to use that cane, but there may be something else out there he'd be proud to use. So if you have an aging parent who refuses help, subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who is burning out on senior care. Because they may need to hear this today. You do not have to have a fight, and every battle does not have to be won. You can lead from structure. You can lead from leadership. Ray did not need Carla to become his boss or his parent. He needed her to become steady enough to stop chasing every refusal and start naming the real choice. I have seen so many people change because I never mentioned a cane or a walker to them. And I have this 12-week steady approach course or cohort. It helps caregivers stop living in an emotional push-pull and start building a plan that protects dignity, safety, and family peace. So if you want more help learning this way, I have a link in the description for my weekly newsletter. And you can also put your name on the wait list for the next 12-week cohort, which I teach family caregivers how to become the trusted leader their senior actually looks up to. Even when that senior says, I don't need your help, while holding onto the wall, you can get this done. And I only take 25 students at a time because I have to work with you individually. Take care. We'll talk soon. I'll see you in the next video.